Exposed. Exposed. Woo. Exposed. Yeah. Ha. You exposed, bitch. You exposed. If you got no games, you exposed, bitch. You exposed. You exposed. You exposed, bitch. You exposed. 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 Woo.
What is up, guys? NYKF31 here, bringing you a game of Madden 25. This is PS3 Madden 25. And fittingly enough, I'm taking the St. Louis Rams in the 4th and 1 online franchise up against the Seattle Seahawks, as we are in the first week without any football of any kind, college or NFL. The season is over, the Super Bowl is over, no more football on our glorious Sunday afternoons. And this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, was a painful exposed to do. I've done exposed for Notre Dame, so I don't play favorites, but Notre Dame won when they got thrashed by Alabama. That was more in fun because I didn't think Notre Dame was going to win that game. I mean, no one thought Notre Dame was going to win that game. So, you know, that exposed was more laughing at myself and my Notre Dame fanboyishness. But as we all know, I am a huge Peyton Manning fan, and I did not see that avalanche coming, to say the least. Not at all how I thought that was going to go down. So, what the hell happened? Why was I so wrong? I'm far from the only one on the face of the earth who picked Denver to win that game. So, how were the Seattle Seahawks able to completely deconstruct the Denver Broncos and just completely break them down? Well, a couple of reasons. A couple of things that I underestimated personally is, one, I didn't think Denver would have nearly as much trouble as they did blocking Seattle's front four. Yes, Cliff Averill and Michael Bennett are good pass rushers. Good, solid pass rushers. No doubt about that. But I thought Denver would be able to handle them at least enough to entice them to have to blitz. And Peyton is the best in the business as far as making checks at the line to pick up blitzes and make adjustments and throwing hot. So I thought that would be a major problem. Turns out it wasn't. They couldn't block Averill at all. I mean, Averill was just a wrecking crew all night long. And they had trouble picking up pressure when Seattle did bring pressure. They didn't have to all that much because when you can rush and get pressure with four, that's a great luxury. Basically, everything that I believe about playing defense and have preached about playing defense in my experience in this wonderful game of football came to pass. So shame on me, really. Secondly, I underrated Cam Chancellor greatly. I know Earl Thomas is good. I know that Richard Sherman is very good. Bobby Wagner, good player. But Cam Chancellor is much, much better than I thought he was. He's a really good player. Really good player. Really unique. He made plays in coverage that were just scary. When you factor in his size combined with that athleticism that he has. I mean, he made a play where he was carried the seam by a slot receiver and carried that a good 15 yards downfield, came off of that and closed to stop a receiver underneath 2 yards first down on a 3rd and 7. I mean, that was a impressive display by a freak athlete. He's much, much better than I thought. Because I thought what would happen would be that they would expose him in space, spread him out, and do what they do and make Cam Chancellor have to cover people in space in an open area. And they tried to do that. They came out in shotgun virtually every play, either spread, trips with a tight end single side, or Thomas in the slot, or in compressed sets, and they tried to run crosses and their seam routes. They try to do their slants and seam combos, as well as running, two digs behind each other, one shallow, one deep. And they were good enough at matching those seam routes and coming back to crack back on anything underneath, which is very, very hard to do. It's very hard to do both. Most defenses can do one or the other, but they were able to close down space underneath, as well as obstruct anything deep enough to make Peyton have to hold the ball, and by then the rush was getting there, or he had to throw underneath and expose his receivers to hits. So it was just a complete and utter physical rout. Good scheming, good game planning, and just insane athleticism out of their secondary. And I did a little bit of research after the fact, and it turns out that over the past 10 years, only the 2005 Tampa Bay Buccaneers have better pass defense metrics. The 2005 Tampa Bay Buccaneers held opposing QBs to something crazy, like a 45 passer rating. I mean, just absurd. They remain number one over the past decade, and Seattle is number 2. So I greatly underestimated their pass rush and their personnel in some spots. Cam Chancellor is a terrific player. Terrific player. So, and you add that all up, and you've got one of the most lopsided Super Bowls in recent memory. And unfortunately, Peyton Manning is going to take a hit for it. I mean, he pretty much has to. He runs the offense. It's his offense. He calls the shots on that side of the ball, and they didn't execute. And the biggest disappointment for me was they showed no ability to adjust to what was happening throughout the course of the game. No grasp of the feel of the game. And it just unraveled, got away from them, and snowballed from start to finish. So a very disappointing Super Bowl. Very disappointing. Even if they lost, or Denver lost, at least it would have been much more palpable if it was a tight game. But that was just, ugh. So, talk to you all later. Peace.